welcome back to Lex Reads. So in today's video, I wanted to highlight Black women authors from the Reconstruction age, like the Gilded Age, which is what, like late 1870s to 1900, something like that. And I was inspired to look up these women and do some research because I have been rewatching the Gilded Age that premiered on HBO Max about a year ago, and the second season just passed. But I was watching the first season with my sister and my aunt, and there is a Black character, a Black family, the Scott family, and one of the main characters, her name is Peggy, and Peggy is inspired by Ida B. Wells. Beginning of the series, she is a budding writer. So the Christian Advocate, which was a newspaper publication, were interested in her stories. Of course, when she got there, they didn't realize that she was this. And he said, well, this is what we can do. We can publish your stories. You'll be handsomely paid, but we cannot publish them under your name, which means that we cannot identify you as a Black woman.
Have you signed a document that you accept our policy, which would prevent you divulging publicly that you are the writer of any stories we might publish?
My own stories.
And I remember saying out loud to my aunt and my sister, I said, it makes you wonder how many stories out there are written by Black women, and of course white men get the credit. Just think, there's stories out there that was written by us and we don't get the credit. Just think about that. So yeah, guys, let's just get started. So like I said, the character Peggy in the Gilded Age is inspired by Ida B. Wells, and I have The Light of Truth, Writings of Anti-Lynching Crusader, and she was a journalist. And with Ida B. Wells, before Rosa Parks, there was Ida B. Wells. She refused to leave her seat on a train. And she's really big in the women's suffrage movement. But y'all know, every time they talk about women's suffrage and all that, they have like the whites and things like that. But no, we was there too, and we contributed a lot. Okay, next is Our Nig by Harriet E. Wilson. Now this is a slave narrative, and she talks about her journey while she was a young child all the way up to being a grown adult. And you know what, I really did enjoy this because it did not read like a nonfiction book. It read like a fictional story. Now this was lost, and Henry Louis Gates, he rediscovered it and reissued it. This woman was a pioneer. Next is The Portable of Anna Julia Cooper. Now I have two books by her. Okay, so she's known for A Voice from the South. Voice from the South, they're essays talking about, being Black in America, the woes that can come with it, and she really does, she hits you hard with it, okay? And then this last year, Penguin Classic Edition, they issued the Portable Anna Julia Cooper, which this is all of her works in one book, one collection. So if you do want to read about Anna Julia Cooper, I would suggest you guys get this edition. She has some poetry, some critical essays, some letters from her and W. Du Bois. Next is Frances E. W. Harper. Now she is known for this novel, and it is Lola Leroy. I have not read this, but they said that it says first published in 1892. Lola Leroy was probably the best-selling novel by an African-American woman prior to the 20th century. Frances Harper had already gained an international reputation as a writer, lecturer, and public advocate when her only novel appeared. I just know a little bit about her. I want to get like maybe an autobiography or something about her, but the fact that they said this is probably the best-selling novel by an African American, and also the reason why I wanted to get this and I need to read it is because it's a novel as opposed to a narrative. A lot of early writings by Blacks, they were slave narratives as opposed to fictional stories. Next is Narratives of Sojourner Truth. We had to include this. Come on now. It's Sojourner Truth, okay, and a woman. And then lastly, I always want to highlight, I've shared this book so many times, and if you guys do not have it and you want to learn about Black women authors in the 19th century or just in general, you have to get this. And this is another Penguin Classic Edition. This is the Portable 19th Century African American Women Writers. This Oh my gosh, you guys, please, please, please get this, because you not only have well-known writers during that time, like a Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, Ida B. Wells, but you have writers that were not well known. With this, it comes with literature. You got some poetry, some essays, some critical analysis. So yeah, guys, out of all these books, I would say this is number one right here. All the authors that I mentioned, they're in here, and you have more. So this is also available on my storefront too. This is a collection to have. It really is. So yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to Black women writers in the 1900s during the Reconstruction age. It's so crazy because I've been on this kick of rewatching the Gilded Age and getting immersed in that, time frame. And I love to see, and I'm so glad that in that series that they highlight Black elites, because during the Reconstruction age, girl, we was popping. That just shows you the power of media and how it could be good, because look, I'm just watching, TV, and then all of a sudden I'm like, huh, I want to look up Black women writers. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you, and I'll be back with more Black books. Bye.